But first, he writes the nationally syndicated column Savage Love, hosts the Savage Love podcast, Dan Savage. There's Dan Savage. How are you, my friend? Great to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
It's great to see you. I wanted to talk to you about so many things, but let's start with the tweet. I mean, when I saw this yesterday, I just thought, oh, a disgusting, obnoxious tweet from Donald Trump. It's Thursday.
Sexist bullying asshole reveals himself to be sexist bullying asshole.
Right. And then everybody went apeshit, and I just don't understand it. Why is this the straw that broke the camel's back? I mean, this is the guy who talked about grabbing pussies uninvited. This is the guy who's... What?
Before he was president.
Is that what it is?
The Megyn Kelly thing happened before he was president, when a lot of us were like, this is not going to happen, right? A lot of us believed then that he wasn't going to be president. And it has a different quality when the president does the exact same thing that he did when he was the candidate. People keep hoping he's going to pivot to something more presidential. How many times have we heard people on TV say, tonight he became president? Well, tonight he became the asshole he's always been, or yesterday, again. And I also think, you know, all women who are premenopausal menstruate. And so talking, like what he said about Megyn Kelly, blood coming out of her wherever, wasn't as scalding as sort of the sensitive subject of like outing someone about plastic surgery, because people sometimes have hang-ups about being out about that. So it seemed even crueler than just referencing the bleeding that people generally do, people generally do. This is a different kind of bloody and a different kind of attack.
Let's move on to another subject. This is area explored, and you've answered my question. Okay. So
I do write about sex, so I'm more comfortable.
Last week I was talking about how the Democratic Party can kind of get back in the game because they've lost all 4 special elections. Okay. And Bernie Sanders said recently the current model and strategy of the Democratic Party is an absolute failure, which probably is why he doesn't join it. You think that's true? And well, what do you think about what the Democrats should do?
Well, the Republicans lost all 4 special elections in 2009. And then they won in 2010. So in 2009, there were special elections after Obama appointed Democrats from safe seats to his administration. And the Republicans didn't win any of those seats, didn't pick any of them up. And then the Democrats got their asses handed to them in the first midterm. So the fact that the Democrats haven't won any yet doesn't mean that we still can't hand them their asses in the midterm. And but to your point, like,
is that a good attitude to have?
No, we got to keep fighting.
Yeah,
and we're going to win, but we can't like point to these losses as evidence we can never win, because that just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then we will never win. But what Bernie said, and you've said this a lot, the Democrats have to start fighting like Republicans, which may include cheating like Republicans. Republicans win when Republicans cheat.
Democrats cheat, yes.
Hillary Clinton won the popular vote.
So did Al Gore.
So did Al Gore, but that was, I think, a theft. But Democratic candidates took 1 million more votes in House races. But for gerrymandering, Democrats would have a majority in the House. The system is rigged, like Bernie Sanders said, but it's rigged against Democrats.
Well, partly it's rigged because Democrats didn't vote enough. And so the state legislatures are controlled by Republicans.
Absolutely.
And that's who draws up the districts.
Right. And Democrats need to get better at turning out their voters and inspiring their voters to turn out by actually having some positions that
even
people
for the
can
little
articulate.
ones.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just the top of the ticket. And also stand together, support each other. I was talking about how John Ossoff really didn't support Nancy Pelosi when they were going after her, and he said, "Well, I haven't given it any thought." I mean, that's not what Republicans would do.
No, Republicans are a gang.
Right, like a prison gang.
Like a prison gang.
And that's where our politics are, yeah.
Right, Republicans have brass knuckles on and Democrats don't. And Democrats need to pick up the brass knuckles and play the game that's actually being played. So many Democrats think that they're in Washington to set a good example for the GOP. And we need to start fighting like the GOP fights, and even fighting as dirty as the GOP fights.
Okay, I'm glad you feel that way. There's also the part of it that so many people in this country, in so many states, would never consider voting for a Democrat. It's not just that they're not the preferred party. They're unthinkable. Vladimir Putin, to them, is preferable to a Democrat. Why do you think that is? And how can we reverse that? How can we make people in North Dakota go, okay, I'll at least look at the Democrat?
I don't know. But I will say that I think that might be the wrong question. Because when you look at the map, there's no such thing as a blue state. There are red states with big blue cities in them.
Oh, I know, because I go to them all.
Right, that flip the state. You know, Washington State, where I live, is a red state, but for Seattle. And what Democrats have to do is they have to unapologetically be the party of urban America the way that Republicans are unapologetically the party of depopulated America, the party of rural America, the party of the exurbs and suburbs. Democrats have to be the urban party. Republicans for 30, 40 years, San Francisco values and demonizing urbanites, people of color, and the elites that live in the cities. And Democrats have to turn out more of those voters in the cities, and more of those voters will turn out in the cities if Democrats embrace them. If Democrats say, we are the party of the places where people are.
That sounds like you're saying we should write off the very people who won the last election for Donald Trump.
If more people turned out in the cities to vote, in all of the cities to vote, Donald Trump would not have won the election. Democrats have to do a better job of turning those people out and stop chasing voters they're never going to get. Sending John Kerry out with a gun to shoot something right before the election didn't win him any votes in knuckle drag America.
Okay, let me ask you about this one. According to the right-wing spin machine, the greatest threat to America now is that liberals are violent. Can you show a little bit of this ad? This played in the Georgia election. Not by this, I must say, this was not bought by the Republican Party down there, but a sympathetic arm of the Republican Party. And this shows where they're at.
Now the unhinged left is endorsing and applauding shooting Republicans. When will it stop? It won't if Jon Ossoff wins on Tuesday, because the same unhinged leftists cheering last week's shooting are all backing Jon Ossoff. And if he wins, they win. Stop them. Stop them now. Stop Jon Ossoff. Stop Nancy Pelosi. Vote Karen Handel for Congress.
Well, they stopped us. Ossoff lost. I guess it's over.
Right. Well, see, that's what they do. But this idea, this is not just this one ad. I could read, I have so many quotes here, I'm not going to read them all. Sean Hannity, Jim Pirro, all the people on the right.
The NRA ad.
Right, the NRA ad, who are saying things like, liberal hatred towards President Trump and Republicans have reached a fever pitch, and now it is becoming violent. Wait, I thought we were snowflakes.
We were snowflakes.
And now, any minute, Kathy Griffin might be coming in with a head severed off. I mean, they are trying to put this over that we are the violent ones.
Right. We used to be the latte-sipping, Volvo-driving, New York Times reading, sushi-eating, liberal elite faggots in the cities, and now we're this danger. But the reason they're doing this, the reason they're cranking this up, gun sales plummeted after Trump won the election because the scary black president wasn't coming for your guns anymore, not that he ever did, and the shrill lady wasn't going to come for your guns. And gun sales went off the cliff after Trump won the election. This crazy NRA ad, all of this rhetoric, what they're saying is, hey, don't stop buying guns. Go buy some fucking guns because Kathy Griffin is going to come and kill you now instead of Barack Obama. It's a transparent effort to scare people who are easily scared and to drive them into gun shops to buy more weapons.
But it also shows that when they want to get on a page, that's what the Democrats don't do. They meet in their underground lair.
They do.
Their volcano. That's all it out. And they say, okay, tomorrow we are all going to say that the left is unhinged and violent, even though it's crazy. And somebody of us goes, wait, the left is not violent. Yeah, but we're going to say that. We're all going to say that. And then it's going to become true to at least half the country. Democrats need to do that, don't you think?
Absolutely.
They need to have an underground lair where they come up with it, and they all say it. They never do that. They don't all say the same thing.
Or just one big gay bar where we all meet once a year to make these plans. Because I want to feel comfortable there. No. Like, Democrats are terrible at messaging. The example I always think of is a couple of years ago, a Republican strategist said, stop calling them entitlements. Entitlements are bad. People are entitled. Call them earned benefits. You paid into Social Security. You paid into Medicare. You earned it. And Democrats couldn't make that switch. And that...
Global warming sounds kind of nice. I used to say, call it climatia.
You know, the Democrats, actually, you know, the gay bar thing, they should look to what the gays did. We talked about gay marriage, and people were like, ooh, yuck, because gay says sex. Gay says sex. So we all switched, and we started saying marriage equality.
Right.
And even people who are uncomfortable with the gays doing the gay butt thing could get behind could get behind equality, and it really helped us achieve marriage equality. And Democrats should look to the success of one of the biggest social movements in this country in the last 30 years and what we achieved in part by effective messaging with everybody on the same page. For fuck's sake, stop calling them entitlements. Make that switch, if nothing else. Republicans, you know, death panels, death taxes, they always, partial birth abortion, they repeat this stuff until we on the left can't even think of these issues without going to their rhetoric. Democrats have the power to do the same thing if they will all unite and have one message, like you said.
Dan Savage, good luck with marriage equality and the butt thing. All right. Great to see you, pal.